Blog Talk Radio.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Cy Brown and welcome to the Cy Brown Fitness Podcast. Thank you so much for listening, checking in with me, hanging out with me. If you are listening to this podcast at 8 a.m., which is when we do it live, the chat room is now open, so feel free to join me in the chat room. It's open, so I'll be taking messages and posting messages and having some fun in the chat room. Also, I just want to give a big shout-out to everybody who was hanging out with me at the beach yesterday. I posted tons and tons of pictures. We went to this beach in Jersey. Don't get me to lying because I don't know which beach it was. All I know is we left to go to the beach later than we were supposed to. Now, if you know anything about Jersey, remember that show Jersey Shore? That is real. Everybody in Jersey goes down the shore. Every other place says, hey, we're going to go to the beach. But in Jersey, we say, hey, we're going down the shore. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. But I promised everybody, all the concession people, that I would give them a big shout-out. Of course, I can't remember everybody's name, but I want to give a big shout-out to everybody that was hanging out with us at the beach. And we took some super cool pictures. Like there's one of me jumping out of the water, and my friend snapped it just as I was on top of the water. So that one is pretty cool. And there's another one. You all know I played basketball, well, a long time ago in high school, but I love basketball. And so there was a court, and my friend Cindy brought her basketball. So we went over to the court, and of course, all these guys are playing on one half, and then, younger teenage kids, 10, 12, were playing on another. And right when there was an opportune moment, Cindy and I were like, hey, can we sneak in here real quick, just long enough to get a couple pictures to look like we were really doing something? And she caught this amazing picture of me midair. And I must say, summer bodies are made in the winter. My legs look great, my arms look great, and so did my tummy. The only part that sucked was that, being a basketball fanatic, as I was going up for the layup, when she snapped it, I still had the ball in my hand, so it looked a little goofy that, I'm midair, one of my legs is at a 90-degree angle, the other one is stretched out straight, but the ball is still in my hand, so that looked a little goofy. But we had a good time. Here in New York, we only get maybe 2 really good months of summer, July and August, because June, at least this June, it was still in the 60s in June. I remember I was traveling, and my son sent me text messages that he had on a hoodie. I had a great time at the beach yesterday. So big shout-out to everybody. If you can, if you're near a beach when you're listening to the show, get some sun. Sun does the body good. I laid out, put some spray on my body. I got a couple shades darker. But, you have to be careful. Let me just say, as a, nutritionist and trainer, you want to protect your skin. But there's something to be said about just laying stretched out on a towel or on a blanket on the beach and just absorbing and soaking in some sun. It just felt so good and relaxing. And I didn't realize, this is real talk, I didn't realize how much I needed that until I was actually there. Sans the little traffic snafu trying to get there, but aside from that, I bought tuna in whole wheat bread, packed up some water, and of course we had protein shakes, so we were clowned by the people who were near us. But, it's a bunch of trainers and fitness people, so of course we're bringing protein with us. But I just have to say it was a great, 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 great time. So big shout-out to everybody who was down at Point Pleasant and Sandy Hook at the Jersey Shore. And so I want to get right into today's show. Really good topic. This is actually, I tell you guys all the time that these shows are so inspired, every single show, by conversations that I have with people and discussions. And, someone asked me yesterday, what was, what are some dieting mistakes that you can avoid? And, the show is, 15 to 30 minutes every day, Monday through Friday. And I said, this is a low-hanging fruit topic. I can give you guys really quickly in a nutshell some diet mistakes that you can avoid. And so here we go. The biggest, let me say this, one of the biggest dieting mistakes that you can make is skipping a meal. Don't do it. Not now, not ever. Never, ever, say never, ever, ever, ever skip a meal. When I start meeting with people, they're like, oh, my God, I didn't even eat since this morning. That is the worst thing you can do. Here's what happens. Your body, if you don't eat, your metabolism starts to slow down. So it starts to store all of the food, all of the fat, all of the carbs that are in your body because it doesn't know when it's going to eat again. So if you're skipping meals, it slows your metabolism down and you start to store fat. You don't want to do that. You want to keep that metabolism burning throughout the course of the day. You don't eat at night. It slows down. Your body is at rest, but you've metabolized all the food that you've eaten during the day. So I have my clients eat 7, 11, 1, 3, 5, and 7. You got that? 7 a.m., 11, 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 7 p.m. So 7, 11, 1, 3, 5, and 7. So here's the gist. You can have your breakfast, then a protein shake, then lunch, and then a protein shake, then dinner, and then a protein shake. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a protein shake. It can be a bar. It can be a supplement. But the gist of your meal plan should be that. Never, ever, 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 not ever do you skip a meal. Step number 2, watch your carbs. Now, there's a difference between good carbs and bad carbs. I try to avoid all carbs whenever possible. Like, I felt really crappy at the end of the day yesterday because when I went to the beach, I made 2 cans of tuna, put a little bit of mayo, just enough to hold it together, a little bit of pesto, and a dash of olive oil just to kind of hold the tuna so it's not, like, dry. And I put 4 slices of bread in tin foil and threw it in my bag. Well, I ate a sandwich before we left. Well, half. I took a piece of bread and folded it in half. I ate a sandwich when we were on the beach, and then I had a protein. And then I ate a half a sandwich. I took the bread and folded it in half. And so by the time I got home, I still had 1 piece of the bread left. But that was 3 slices of bread I had eaten in one day, and each slice of bread had 70 calories. That's really not good. It's really not about, how many carbs you eat, but what kind of carbs you eat. And carbs should come from vegetables, whole grains, and fruits as opposed to bread, potatoes, starches. Those are really, stay away from simple carbohydrates because those take more time for your body to break down and use, and it leads more to an uneven spike of energy, so that's really, really, really not good. So please watch the carbs you eat. All carbs are not bad. Hear me again. All carbs are not bad, but you just have to be really, really careful. Don't forget, today's topic are diet mistakes that you can avoid. Now, you all know if you've been listening to this show long enough, I don't even really dig the word diet too much because it's really about a lifestyle change. But for the sake of this conversation and for the sake of people that just kind of ask me questions in passing or in transient conversations, we're using the word diet. But, skipping meals is bad. Eating bad carbs is bad. And here's another one, not consuming enough protein. Listen, when I first started to lose weight in 2012, like 2011, 2012, all I was told was protein, protein, protein. I know what the hell that meant. Like, when you're new, you just don't get it. But now that I'm some years in, I have a couple of certifications under my belt, now I understand. If you're not getting enough protein, you're really stripping your body and robbing it of size and depth and density. It's really, really important that you have enough protein in your body. Protein builds your muscles. It helps develop your strength. It's really, really hard to not have protein in your body because it gives your body fuel. I try to eat. My trainer, I work with a master trainer who is amazing. He wants me, I'm 5'8", maybe 5'9", and I toggle between 160 and 170 pounds. Yes, as a 40-something-year-old woman, I have a 10-pound swing, and y'all know why. But he wants me to consume 120 grams of protein a day. That is a lot. It is very difficult for me to reach that, but I will tell you, the more protein I consume with my diet, coupled with exercise, is where my muscle definition has been coming from. A lot of people have been looking at my pictures saying, how in the world are you doing it? It's the protein. Try to get your protein from eggs, lean meat, chicken, fish, beef, and things like that. Steak, I'm not an advocate of steak. I'm not an advocate of red meat at all. I'm not a steak eater, but I know a lot of people are. I just try to really keep people away from red meat, just for a myriad of reasons, and I'll probably do a dedicated show just about red meat. But I also wanted to, I have a couple more, just a few more tips to share with you guys on how, you can really have some huge diet mistakes. One of them is not getting enough sleep. It is really imperative when you start any nutrition and fitness regimen that you give your body enough rest. Sleep is so incredibly important. I go to bed really early and I wake up really early, and I love it. That's a schedule that I'm accustomed to, but there are a lot of people that enjoy going to bed super, super late and then they get up super, super early, and I've talked about this. Your body needs time to rest. So the minute you change your meal plan and you change how you're eating, your body is going to go into like, hey, what's going on? It's going to go into shock. So you need to make sure that your body gets the proper rest so it can rebuild itself. The last diet mistake that I want to share that I really want you to avoid is always choosing a salad. Some reason, whenever I talk to people about nutrition, the first thing out of their mouth is, oh my gosh, I love salad and I'm always eating salad. Let me tell you, I have had some of the most unhealthy salads. Here's why. You take a salad, you put walnuts in it, full of fat. Almonds are a little bit better. Then you take some cranberries and other berries and put that in your salad, full of sugar. Then you maybe put some French dressing, ranch dressing, or blue cheese, full of fat. So in your head, get out of your head that a salad is diet food. It's about proper nutrition and proper eating. Now, if you take spinach or arugula or romaine, not iceberg because it's garbage and it's full of water, and you slice some tomatoes, slice some cucumbers, slice some peppers and onions, and you squeeze a lemon on it, bingo, now you're on the money. But to take iceberg lettuce with chunks of tomato and sugary things on it, raisins, cranberries, they're good in moderation, and then you dump dressing on it, you might as well just have a burger and fries. Because some salad dressings, there's a ginger sesame dressing that I absolutely love. It has 13 grams of fat per teaspoon. And you know you're not putting a teaspoon of salad dressing on your salad. I try to keep myself between 23 and 25 fat grams a day. 13 and 13 is 26. So if I put 2 teaspoons of dressing, I've already capped out my fat grams for the day. So a big mistake that people make when they're beginning a new fitness and nutrition regimen a la a diet is that they say, "Sorry, I'm having a salad." Oh well. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to lose weight. So I wanted to share that with you. If you missed any part of the podcast, you know you can listen to it on iTunes, or you can even go to SoundCloud, or you can just go to my website, cybrownfitness.com. Thank you so much for listening today. And I am going to do a show on red meat coming up, and I'm also going to do a show on soy and soy products like the soy milk and tofu and things like that. So I've got some really awesome shows planned for you guys. So please keep listening. Please keep supporting. And thank you so much for listening to the Cy Brown Fitness Podcast. Always remember that we shall pass through this world but once. Any good that we can do or any kindness that we can show to any human being, let us do it now. Let us not defer or neglect it, for we shall not pass this way again. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.